PC has been in agonizing pain for the past 18 months, and I'm so surprised it's still working today. This is the Acer Predator OEM 3000. More importantly, the Predator PO3 630. Now this on Amazon looked great. Had a good GPU, a decent CPU, 16GB of RAM, and 2 drives. Only for around £1,000. We checked the reviews and saw it was a great purchase for some budget PC. Some people were complaining about the CPU temps. Now let's turn back to Christmas 2022, when I finally got my hands on this PC. I was in awe. With a beastly powerful RTX 30 with 11th gen Intel Core processor, it was all I could ever want for a PC. And that's where things started to go wrong. Not immediately, but progressively worse. Over the next few months, it worked flawlessly. No issues, no crashes, no nothing. But the moment I downloaded Core Temp on my PC, it was the end of the world. Oh my god, what are these temps? And this is on idle! Nothing is going on! The CPU is doing nothing, and it's at over 75 degrees idle. I was flabbergasted at least. I would let it sit for half an hour and come back and see the temps exactly the same. I tried multiple ways of turning down the settings, boosting performance, reducing the load on the CPU, but it had to be on the hardware side. That's when I pointed the finger at the CPU cooler. This was the bare bones of the CPU when I looked it up. It felt like it was meant to break over time and just waste your money and your data. I went back on the Acer software to see if I could turn up the CPU fan just to get those CPU temps a little bit down. And I couldn't. No slider, no configurations, just 3 buttons. Auto, max, and custom. And the custom was only for the front and back fans. No CPU! I was stuck for months trying to figure this out while my PC was still suffering at 80 degrees idle constantly. But finally, I found a video that solved it. A 4-minute video 2 years ago on how to change the config of the software to enable the CPU fans. And all you had to do was go to the directory where it was installed and change the type value from 2 to 5. I restarted the software and oh my god, it's there. Why is this locked behind a type of Predator PC? Why is this not on all PCs? Why am I restricted on controlling the back and front fans? But either way, I finally had control of my CPU cooler. But the moment I changed this, something snapped in the PC. It kept crashing, and the only way to decrease the amount of times of crashing was making it sound like a jet. This did help with the temps and crashing, to now only coming 2 times per week. After that, I just accepted defeat after the temps just exceeded over 85 when playing non-intensive games. And when I did play intensive games, it just got to 90 degrees. This is what life was like for me for the entire year of 2023 and mostly halfway through 2024. But something changed this month. Something that I've never checked is what the amount of gigahertz it was using. I checked on Core Temp to see it was using over 4 gigahertz of the core and compared it to the same CPU specs on the Intel website, and it said the processor base frequency was 2.5. Even though it did say max turbo frequency 4.9 and boost technology at 4.9. But that processor base frequency got me. Why would it be constantly running at 4 gigahertz when it's not really meant to be running at 4 gigahertz if it's doing absolutely nothing? I was very confused of how this might be. Did Acer overclock the system by default? Well, that was left to me to find out. I installed the Intel Extreme Tuning Utility, and there it was. Using 4 gigahertz constantly, but the temps at over 70 degrees. And that's when I went to the place no one would have went. The power plan. Now if you don't know what the power plan is on Windows, for some reason, it's basically how much performance or how much you want to have an eco-based PC or a maximum performance PC by altering a few settings. Most people have this set to ultimate performance by some command prompt command. I was scrolling through the advanced section, and that's where I noticed something called processor power management. Now, I never touched these at all. I don't even know what these did. I thought it was just something that could improve performance. But the moment I changed processor performance boost mode from efficient aggressive to disabled, it was now running at the stop frequency. I have no words. Why was this enabled at default? This CPU has been in agonizing pain for the past 18 months, and now I've only just go with this. I look at the temps, it's 45 degrees idle. So yeah, that's how I discovered this teeny tiny setting was about to make my PC a nuclear reactor. And this could be your problem. If you're having too high temps with CPU LED at 0 to 5%, just search up power plan by doing Windows S, go to advanced settings and look for processor performance boost mode and check that disable button. It should now be at the stock frequency. Now yes, obviously doing this will decrease your performance by some margin, but I would rather have this than my CPU being idle at 80 degrees.